and then shift to an embargo section. I don't know if BBC want to kick us off as usual.
Mike, have you given me a recording right? Sorry to be a pain.
Well, certainly your colleagues have. Let me just do you as well if you haven't got it. Yeah, there you go.
Thank you, mate. Hi, Wayne. How are you? All right?
Very good, thank you.
7 changes, perhaps more than some people thought. What was the sort of reasoning behind them?
Our players that have trained well. It's the last opportunity for us to have a look at them against quality opposition. So we always planned to get as many as a group out there as we could. But we've learned a lot in this last 4 weeks. So for some of them now, it's putting that into the acid test, if you like, against a Tier 1 nation.
First start for Gareth Thomas. What's impressed you since he's come on a couple of times?
Yeah, look, he's impressed us all season long, really, with the work he's been doing at the Ospreys. And he's a genuine big man. So he's got the profile we're looking for. He's got a lot of rugby in him outside of the set piece. He understands the game well. He's good at the breakdown. You saw that last weekend. So, look, we want to see him start in a match to learn as much as we can, because we've got obviously a lot of players coming back. I think about 27 players at the moment, either away with the Lions or injured or unavailable, that have played Test rugby in the past. So, it's a great opportunity for him. Tommy Rogers as well. The Jared Evanses of the world. To start a Test match of this quality, and to be given roles where they're expected to deliver. So we'll learn a lot, and that's going to give us hopefully more depth for the future.
The halfbacks impressed when they came on as replacements last week. They start this weekend. What are you looking for from them?
Yeah, more of the same, really. We want to be able to make good decisions in terms of what we do with the ball, and we want to be able to stress their defence. So I think both those players had strong games when they came on. So we're always going to mix and match with the halves, to be honest, from the first game to this game. So that's exactly what we've done.
And Josh Turnbull, a first start for 3 years, sort of the other end of the scale. A good reward for what he's done over the last few weeks.
Yeah, look, it is, and again, it's opportunities are created through misfortune for others, through injury, and obviously selection for the Lions. And Josh has worked hard in club rugby over the last few years, and he's, as it's turned out, he's played in each match, and he's come on early in the last 2 matches. Again, with Aaron out, it presents an opportunity for him, and Josh is really looking forward to it. It's going to be a big test, big challenge, and I think the weather's going to play a big part as well.
In a long season, Wayne, it's finally finishing now. How would you assess it, and what would it be like to finish with a win?
Yeah, well, it has been a long season. It's been different. It's been one where it's been new to all of us, obviously, with COVID and the changes we've had to make, and we've had to adapt a lot, and we talk about that within camp. That autumn series it feels like it was years ago, to be honest. But look, it's on reflection, I think after the weekend, it'll be a season where we're very, very happy that we've been able to win the Six Nations, but also do a lot of development work throughout the autumn and the summer series, which is, bodes well for the future, we hope, in terms of building depth. And we saw at the last World Cup, you are going to get injuries, and you have to have players with experience coming in. And if we can get players with 10, 15, 20 test matches under their belt from the last World Cup to this one coming, then that'll serve a purpose, obviously.
And just ask you about Alan Wynne-Jones, Wayne. It'll be 3 weeks since he dislocated his shoulder to be on the bench for the Lions. Just with your role, with Wales's role, when did it sort of become obvious that he might have a chance and he'd sort of be training with you to try and get back out there to South Africa?
Yeah, well, I had the initial conversation with Al, and he was very, very disappointed, obviously, in getting the injury in the first place and having to come home. And then I didn't speak to him for some time afterwards, and when obviously the medical people had a look at the scan and decided that he could recover without surgery, and that he could recover reasonably quickly if he did certain things. And so once that conversation was had between the 2 medical teams, and I was involved in that, the doors were open and Al came in. He's worked his socks off, as he always does, and he showed that with his knee injury after the autumn series, how diligent he is on his rehab. So it wasn't surprising for us that he was given a window of opportunity, and he's taken it. He certainly trained well on Tuesday in both sessions, so showed us that he's good to go, and that was relayed medical team to medical team, and he's is where he is, and we're very pleased for him.
Great. Thank you very much, Wayne.
Thank you.
Hi, Wayne. Can you just confirm how many sessions Al actually did with you before you went off with the Lions?
Well, he's done the 2 full contact sessions with us.
And just for those of us who are not privy to those contact sessions, are we talking full intensity, match intensity?
Yeah, so we have 2 sessions on a Tuesday. The morning session is a unit session, so forwards are separate from the backs, and we go through our scrums, we go through our line out, so, you know, it's full lifting, full range of movement in the shoulder there in a lifting capacity, lifting big men. There's also being lifted and coming down to the ground and mauling. We had defensive mauls with the ball, without the ball, and that was full on. We referee that. So he's come through that. He's come through our pick and go scenarios in the goal line, attack and defence, and then he's trained fully in team v team. So he's been tackled and made tackles. So, you know, there's nothing else he could do to prove his fitness.
And just on the communication with the Lions, I think Warren Gatlin mentioned he'd seen some video of Al in training. How is that communication taking place? Has it been the medical teams talking to each other more than anything?
It's a head of analysis speaking with myself. It's medical team to medical team, coach to coach. There's a lot of communication to make sure that, you know, the right decisions were made. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else anybody could have done, and it was done very professionally.
And just on Wales and Argentina, then obviously Thomas Williams comes in to start scrum half. I know that position has rotated quite frequently for injuries as much as anything else over the last 12 months. Is this a chance for him to make a statement ahead of a bit of a rest period for you?
Yeah, all 3 nines that we've used, the main 3, I guess, have picked up injuries at different stages since we've taken over. So no one's really had a run of games. It's through no one's fault, really. And in this particular campaign, I wanted to give both the 9s an opportunity because we see them both playing a role going forward. So, and with Gareth being away with the Lions, so we've given them a similar amount of game time, really. And we think that the way they finished the game, they deserve to start this week. And we'll ask Kieran and Callum to come off the bench and inject something as they've done in the past.
Nick Tompkins coming in for Willis Halaholo. Can you just explain the thinking there?
Yeah, we were going to use all 3, and we've done that. And Nick came on I think it was about the first minute, wasn't it, against Canada, and played on the wing. Our intention was to bring him into the midfield in that game. That didn't pan out, but look, he's trained really, really well. And we're looking forward to seeing Nick go on the weekend. I think he'll be full of energy, and he's playing in a position that he loves playing in. And
just on Johan Lloyd, I think he's probably the one fit guy who's been with you from the start who won't see action. What's he been up to over the last few weeks, and perhaps just touch on why he maybe hasn't had an opportunity?
Yeah, as I said, we were going to try to get as many of the boys out there as we could. He's been one of the unfortunate ones, but look, there's as many learnings for some of these young guys in the training environment as there is in playing games. And he's had a full month with us again, following on from the autumn series where there were a lot of learnings for him. He's 19 years of age and he's not the finished product, and he's learning and he's developing. And so at this stage, we think the right place for him is to be in the squad and to continue that process. And he'll be going home back to Pat Lam and Bristol with some messages, coach to coach, and the player will take messages back from the whole coaching group. The areas of his game that he needs to keep working on, and a lot of it is simply he's 19, and you know he'll benefit from more work in the gym, more conditioning work, and he will get better and better as a player.
Thanks, Wayne. Good luck on the weekend.
Thank you.